This is my second attempt at week 2. I have been really thriving lately. No, I turned 28 and I had a birthday meltdown, which, is expected. It actually does just happen every year. I feel there's something about a birthday that makes the inner critic incredibly loud. I think if you're the type of person who's reflecting naturally around your birthday, which I think is most people, to be fair, but if you're like a particularly reflective person, it's not that, I don't think it's that surprising that you would then find your inner critic to be particularly loud around your birthday. That's okay. Part of the process, isn't it? Okay, the quote that resonated this week. As blocked creatives, we focus not on our responsibilities to ourselves, but on our responsibilities to others. We tend to think such behaviour makes us good people. It doesn't. It makes us frustrated people. Ooh, mama. That resonates. That really, really resonates. I have felt incredibly frustrated this last week of my life. Frustrated with myself, frustrated with balancing both my own expectations for my birthday and other people's expectations for my birthday, and a week spent doing morning pages. I kept up with morning pages this previous week. I didn't do yoga or walking or write any meaningful writing, dedicated writing time. It was all very sporadic and without much purpose. I think that was the feeling of last week. I was not moving with purpose. So I've just decided to start week 2 again. I want to do this purposefully. I want to move with purpose. So that's where we're at. What else was she talking about? Attention to little details. I found that section really beautiful. Yeah, I think there is a lot of truth in paying attention to the little details being a healing practice, right? She says here, the reward for attention is always healing. I have definitely found that to be true in the moments when I am, again, moving with purpose, giving your attention with purpose. I feel better about the world and myself and my artistic journey and all of those wonderful things. When you're distracted and not paying attention with purpose, it's kind of all of the opposite. And I think it's particularly resonant when we exist in a attention economy with social media, with YouTube, with Instagram, TikTok, whatever, all of the various platforms. And there's a lot of beauty in those spaces, obviously, but it is very easily distracting. I think the goal for week 2 of The Artist's Way is going to be really prioritizing my artist state. I feel like I did have one in week 1, but it didn't feel as intentional as I think I would like it to feel. It didn't feel as much like a celebration of myself or actually taking myself on a date. I think it counted, but just barely. And I'd like to be a bit more intentional with that. I think the word of the week is intention and purpose. I'm going to have a think about what I want to do and how I want to do that. But yeah, I think that's really like the major goal of the week is the artist state and prioritizing some time off my phone creating, really. Actually get back to the writing. That first week where I wrote Monday to Thursday felt so good. Felt so nice and positive, and I really would like to get back to that feeling. Artist state, writing, hopefully feel a bit more settled in myself and a little bit less out of sorts. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm getting back to my self-imposed structures. So let's pick a writing exercise and actually do it. instead of rotting. Even though it's 8 p.m. and I would much rather be in a bath reading my book. Sometimes you can't have what you want. Okay. Number 102, a happy marriage. Describe a happy marriage over at least 10 years. You'll have to dispense with focused narrative, summarizing to a large extent, listing details, the reason you think this is a happy marriage. Is a happy marriage an enviable marriage? Can a couple be too happy? Inseparable? Insufferable? 600 words, which is not a lot of words. I put this exercise in the midst of exercises about time because marriage is a construction built out of time, buffeted by the ravages of years, tempered by the weaknesses and aging of each partner. I find that very interesting. Yeah. Can you tell I'm so fucking tired? I can't even muster any sort of energy right now. I'm just going to write this damn story. Marriage. 600 words. We'll report back. That felt really good. I'm not obsessed with what I wrote. Am I ever? But it was good to write. The process felt good. The process is what matters. This is what Julia Cameron is talking about. Wait, I'm going to get the book. Here we go. In the section on recovering a sense of identity, week 2, she says this: draw a sacred circle around your recovery. Give yourself the gift of faith. Trust that you're on the right track. You are. And then she says, la, 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 la. You will discover the joy of practicing your creativity. The process, not the product, will become your focus. Ah, boom. I find that to be true. The more I write, the more I give myself time to create, the more I'm prioritizing my inner artist. As wanky as that feels to say, the more I prioritize that part of myself, the process of just doing it, the process of creating, the process of making something new with my brain and my hands and my tools, the happier I feel just generally as a person in the world. It is kind of remarkable how much it affects all other areas of life, just like how you show up in the world. And it really requires so little. I've written for 50 minutes today. That's so little. But I know I'm going to feel so much better for the rest of the evening and when I wake up tomorrow. And if I keep it going daily, or, as close to daily as possible. Oh, you ever have that thing where you've read a word, but you don't know how to say it out loud? Cumulative? Cumulative? I think that's right. Cumulative. The cumulative effect of writing, creating. But the self-sabotaging monster, gremlin, creature in my brain, critic, is doing and has been doing for the last week a really good job of being you don't need it. It's all good. You're fine. Keep rotting. Keep feeling terrible because I thrive off you feeling terrible. Oh, it's so annoying. I feel like the most annoying part about this whole process, and any time I try and do any sort of self-improvement, is that I know that following the steps, doing the things, is worth it. But my brain and the evil voices up there are really good at convincing me that I'm wrong. They're pros at it. Oh, guys, just bleak. But today was a positive step. I read for ages today. I'm reading such a good book. I'm reading The Stone Sky. I don't know if I've mentioned this. It's N.K. Jemison's The Broken Earth trilogy. I'm onto the last book and I have 100 pages to go. And all of the threads from the entire trilogy are starting to really click together in a very satisfying and also kind of terrifying way. Truly, yeah, some of the best fantasy that I've read in a really long time. Fantasy science fiction. I think it's science fantasy. Is that what you call it when it's the two genres kind of merged together? Anyway, it's so, so good. And I'm also immediately, I'm not even done yet. And I know I need to reread the series because she's just so clever. The way that things have been spread throughout the trilogy, a reread is going to be crazy to like know how it all ends and then like see how that's, been done on a craft level, maintaining a story across 3 books in that way is just mind blowing. Like, you have to be so intelligent to pull that off. Yeah, I really want to read some articles or see if there's any interviews that I can find, because I'm not very good actually at doing research around books, but I would like to get into the habit of finishing books and then doing a bit of research about like the author's process and how they felt about the story. I'm not bad at looking at reviews, but I'm also not amazing at it. Like, I do kind of just sit with my own feelings, or I'll talk to people in real life, but I don't often actually like make the time to read stuff about the books that I've read. Well, not as much as I would like to anyway. And considering that I have a review Substack, I feel like it would be good for me to get into the habit of doing that frequently and with more purpose. There you go. Word of the week: purpose. With purpose. And with that, I will leave you for the night. We'll talk again tomorrow, I'm sure. The situation is that I am on page 360 of The Stone Sky. The last page of the actual story is 398. So I have 38 pages to go before this story is over forever. I'm freaking out, quite frankly. I don't know what's going to happen. Either the world is going to end or the world is going to be saved. And I fear the world is going to end, because she didn't tell us that the world was going to end at the very beginning. But sometimes authors lie to you. So, like, actually, what the fuck? I love books. Damn. I don't want to spoil anything, but that was crazy. Oh my god. I need to process my thoughts. But holy fucking shit. N.K. Jemisin, the woman that you are. Want to know what thrilling and fun writing I did this evening? I applied for 2 jobs and I wrote 2 cover letters, aka the worst things you have to write ever. Oh, my brain is mush and I need to go to sleep. But I did it. Yay. Let's go on a date. I have no idea where I am, but it's very pretty and I've got a photos, so successful date, I would say. Hello. I just got back from my little artist date walk and I took so many photos and it was so nice. I had a complete meltdown before I left, just feeling very overwhelmed about finding a new job, to be honest. It's such a slow and stressful process. But took a coffee with me, listened to my audiobook, and I feel so much better. There was a very sweet moment when I was walking along and a piwakawaka, which is also known as a fantail, it's a type of bird in New Zealand, was like flying along with me. Yeah, it was just a really sweet moment and I felt very at peace and lucky to live in such a beautiful place and around so much beautiful nature. That is just like right there
should I want to enjoy it, and I need to do it more. You just want to stay inside during the winter, don't you? But I never regret going on a walk, to be honest, and I need to remember that. It's literally an hour of my day, and I feel so much better for it. I think this is like everything that I'm discovering and realising about myself over these last couple weeks is how little time you actually need to dedicate to the things that bring you the most joy. It's not as much of a time suck or like an ordeal as you might build it up to be in your head, which I know I definitely do. I definitely have that all or nothing mindset of like, well, I have to write for 8 hours for it to be worthwhile, or I have to go on a huge hike. And that's just not true. An hour walk, a half an hour walk does so much. An hour writing, a half hour writing does so much. So, yeah, feeling good. I should probably also do my little wrap up for the week because it is Friday and I want to try and get this edited and out. So, review of the week. Feeling really good. I did morning pages every day. I did a lot of reading. Not every day, but I did a lot of reading. Yeah, Artist State was amazing. Moving with purpose, man. It actually does a lot, even in like the really difficult moments. I'm glad that I was able to sort of grab myself by the shoulders and push through the most difficult part, which is usually just starting. Taking a step outside, opening your computer, sitting down with a book. It's so simple. It's frustrating how simple it is, but it's also reassuring in a lot of ways that it like doesn't need to be that complicated. It doesn't need to be this whole big thing. I'm gonna go edit my photos, I think, and yeah, thanks for watching week 2. Shout out. Shout out if you're watching, if you watched all the way to the end. I'll see you next week.